Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good new year. Despite the poor weather, we got about 6 inches of snow, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my first year doing cotton candy. Last year, I bought my machine from my gold medal dealer, which is about 30 minutes from my house, and I paid about $9.50 for it. And I just went over my paperwork. Last year, in fact, I actually did an inventory sheet of everything I've sold for the whole year. So I'll be going over that as well eventually. Per each market and event and a fundraiser. And I sold about 500 cotton candies last year, which I thought was pretty good. And I've also didn't factor in how much I've given away and how much I've sold at a discount. So I'm gonna probably do that next year as well, for this season, because sometimes when you get to the humidity part, the heat will actually decrease the cotton candy to where nobody's gonna want to buy it at full price. So then you sell it for like $3, $2, and then you get a deal, and you still make money. So I pay about 32 cents for my containers, and my first thought process was, do I take my machine downstairs? And I have a three-bedroom, three-story apartment where I have no stairs, and I don't have any storage to where I have a trailer. Eventually, I'd like to buy a trailer to where I have my machine inside to where I make it fresh to where people can see me make it fresh, just like you make the kettle corn. Anytime you make kettle corn versus ahead of time, if you make it fresh, you're going to sell like 3 to 4 times more. So my goal is eventually to have a trailer to where people can walk by and see someone making it right there on site, just as well as if I have to do roasted nuts and to make gourmet caramel corn. And then with that, I plan to see what the difference is as far as how quickly people buy versus it already being made. But I would sell at a market on a good day. I'd sell anywhere between 10 to 15 cotton candies in a day. On a slow day, I sell 1 to 2. I sell 5. I keep it in the side of my passenger side. I give out to some of my friends at the bar when I play pool, and it's a great gift. I mean, at the end of the day, when I factored in my costs, the cost breakdown was like 50 cents. And when I give out my leftovers and stuff to my friends, it makes them happy. And I say, hey, no fighting at the bar, no fighting over bets or being drunk, or no fighting over women. I hear some cotton candy, and it makes everybody happy. So kids like it, adults like it. In fact, I had an adult last year come by and say, your cotton candy is very fresh, and he bought 3 containers. And I have kids who come by every week and say, I want cotton candy. My favorite is when parents will then say, you have the choice between cotton candy or kettle corn, and they're like, I don't know what to decide. And they're just very depressed because they had to decide between one or the other. So I thought that was pretty funny last year. This is my first year. And then if you see in the pictures too, that I have in one picture where I have a stand where I put my containers on the table. And one of my issues that I had last year is that it would blow away in the wind. And with that, my plan this year is to make a wooden container type thing to where it's like about a box about this big, to where it fits all four or 5 of my containers. I try to sell about 5 different containers and flavors a day, and the most popular ones are always going to be the blue raspberry and the red cherry. And then that way, when there's a gust of wind, sometimes one of my markets I have a gust of wind and it'll just be 40 miles an hour wind, and I'll just blow everything away just like that. And then other days it won't have any problem. So with that, I always try to check the weather to make sure that going in, I have a way to keep it up, and I try to even build things around it to where it doesn't blow away. But I think that having this little wood container shelf display is really going to be really helpful going forward. If you guys have any ideas on where you guys get your displays and stuff from, let me know. And I also show you how I have a sign for my containers, and I just put up pretty much a simple sign, and it says $5 for cotton candy. And I also have a thing that says mix and match. For cotton candy and my flavored kettle corns. So, for example, if a caramel corn bag sells for $6 and you buy the kettle corn or the cotton candy with it, it's going to be 2 for $10. So they love the combo deals. They love the having $1 off. And then in another picture here, you'll see that I was recently in California. Now I sell my cotton candy for $5. I've seen some sell for $4.50. I think that's a good rate. It takes me for about 3 hours of time with my machine. It goes up pretty fast. Like every 2 to 3 minutes, I can do a big bundle. You'll see the video here in the video here that I have sped up. I can make about 100 containers in about 2 hours or so. So it takes a little bit of time. Having another machine back to back would be kind of nice, and then you can do spindling both at the same time. My helper actually is in the video where she was doing it for a fundraiser. We sold at that fundraiser 65 bags, and we actually didn't even do bags. We just did the cones. Now the cones, I don't even think are necessary. I sold just as many containers at another fundraiser where there's just as many kids, and we sold about 70 or so, and we gave the school back 20% of our sales. So for a fundraiser idea, kids love the cotton candy, and it's very colorful. Even the little kids, where they're right at the eye level of the table, they see it. It's like, oh, pink, blue, purple. I don't care what it is, as long as it's the color that I like. I just have to have it. So I was actually pretty hesitant at first to sell cotton candy because of how messy it was. But now that I've been selling it, I've been managing to keep the machine clean. It's actually very much easier to clean than the kettle. For example, it's the sugar. Once you put it in mix it with hot water and you get a nice rag and you just clean the bowl, it comes right off. That bowl is really well and nicely designed. I just love the machine, and I haven't had any issue with it since I've had it for almost a year now. And gold medal, if you have a problem with it, you can repair it at a cost, or since I bought it from Gold Medal, they gave me a year warranty. And then the one thing that I also wanted to say too is that there are different supplies that you can go through as well. So I thought that Gold Medal was the only one, and then I noticed that there's Great Western, and then there's also the concentrate mixes that have the smaller containers. And I've been learning how to mix with the concentrate mixes. In fact, if you see the concentrate mixes, they are will give you a brighter color. Actually, I think I like the way the color looks a little bit better than that. So with that, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'm very happy that I sold cotton candy at the markets. I was not quite sure if I wanted to do it because of a health standpoint. You know, people are staying away from sugar. You know, parents don't like to give sugar to kids these days. And so with the cotton candy, it is just pure sugar. So, you know, I felt like kind of guilty, you know, selling them to the kids. But, you know, if you have everything in moderation, like if I drink a soda, you know, that's my choice. So at the end of the day, I'm not like so much of a devil as I thought I was. And so at the end, and it's also fun to make. I like making it. I like seeing it bundle up in a ball. And my hope is that figuring out after this next season how to keep it better to where the thing doesn't shrink. I noticed that right away, if it's out in the sun for too long, it'll shrink down to a little ball, like about this big, and then that's what will be left of it. So it's been an interesting process. I never thought I would make cotton candy, and I never thought how well it would actually sell with the kettle corn and the pork rinds. And so I would sell my normal amount of kettle corn and my normal amount of caramel corn and cheese, and then I'd sell my cotton candy and I'd sell my pork rinds. And if I sold 25, 15, 20 containers at $5, that's an extra 50, 60 bucks. And then if I sold 25, 30 bags of the pork rinds, that's like an extra, 100, 130 bucks. So if you want to like jump your markets from a $400 to $500 market and then increase it to a $700 market, diversifying your product, making more of what your product and making more specials, and doing more things like that complement your product, which is if your base is kettle corn, even if you're just doing lemonade, I would highly recommend. And as long as nobody else is selling cotton candy, I would get into that market as soon as I can. My next goal is to be doing roasted nuts and gourmet caramel corn. And I just wanted to say thanks everyone for recommended me that I sell cotton candy. I was very hesitant at first, and now looking back, I'm very glad I did it. And in fact, my machine has already been paid for. And so now going forward, this year I'm going to be doing gourmet caramel corn. And I wish you guys a good 24 season. I love this business, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback I've been getting. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to answer below or ask below. And thanks for watching and following. And I hope that you guys let me know if you guys are selling, what you guys are selling. I get a lot of messages from people that are just starting out, and so I just really appreciate the feedback. I'm learning as I go along too. So thanks a lot, you guys, and have a good season. And then thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And thanks to the trolls too for always being critical and making me laugh and making me feel like I'm well loved, because haters gotta hate, as they say, right? All right, this is Schmidty's Kettle Corn. Thanks, guys.